Hi there, Dr. Wilson, back at you today with another concept, and today's concept is the silent killer. And that is the concept of, why do I keep getting adjusted when I don't hurt? I mean, these subluxations, they're dangerous, but do they always hurt? And the answer is always no. They don't always hurt. They can, and it just depends on which branch of the nervous system they're hitting. For example, if there's an interference with your system that goes to your gut, you may not hurt immediately. It may just start to cause a lack of function. Remember, it's not always about the symptom, it's about the function. So over that time, when that nerve that goes to the stomach isn't operating, and we keep trying to use the stomach to full capacity, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to back up, start to give a symptom. Now that we don't always call that hurt, we might just call that a stomach ache, or we might call that stomach pain, or we might call that, an upset stomach. But we don't always call it stomach pain, and we think immediately, oh, let me check the nervous system that goes to my body. Now, when you've been around for a while, that's definitely in the top things you check, especially with this, you see a lot of the families here. That's that front branch of the system. So when we taught you about your nervous system, and there's a back branch that feeds everything that moves to my body, that makes my body move, sorry, and then the front branch that makes everything function. Those are the two different sides of the branches. Now, whichever side gets that pressure is where that nervous system is affected. So when I understand that I can have interference and not have pain, then it makes a lot of sense of what we call wellness care. Now, some of you along the journey are still on your restorative care plan. You're still maybe having some symptoms and you're still working through that process. Totally 100% normal. Some of you didn't have the depth of the problem, or it hadn't been there as long, or there's not it's a degeneration or arthritis or body memory, and so you're sped up the process. And we may be already talking to you about wellness care. This is 100% wellness care. Remember, the 3 stresses in your life never go away. In fact, they usually stay the same. So how is it that people stay better and feel better when the stresses stay the same? It's because now I have a way to maintain them. Now I have a way to keep them at bay. Now I have a way to keep my body strong and ready for that. Remember, is it always about the germ, or is it sometimes about the nervous system? It's most always about the immune system. If I can boost the immune system, I don't have to worry about what germs are around, really. And so that's what people have to say all the time. Now, am I going to go grab germs and throw them all in my mouth all at once to see what's going to happen? No, that's not the point. The point is that some of you parents, and if you haven't been here, I'm going to explain something. One of the most common things we hear, it's a kid who's been sick all the time, been sick, kid sick, sick, and the parents have to just really watch where this kid goes, what they do, how they do it. And it's a really tough world for them because they've got to watch and monitor this child consistently. But then they start getting adjusted, and now all of a sudden they stop getting sick as much, and they stop worrying about it. So then they go back to church, they go back to the daycare, they go back to school, and they're not getting sick, and they've blown away because one time they had 14, 15 rounds of antibiotics in a year, and I've been a year without it. What changed? The strength of the nervous system. And how did it happen? Is that a painful experience? Well, sure, it is painful to the child to be sick, but it's not always the kind of thing we think about where we grab our neck or we grab our low back. So I want you to use chiropractic to the best of its ability and understand that it doesn't always have to hurt, which is why we schedule checkups, right? It's why you schedule a checkup with your dentist. It's why you schedule a checkup with the heart doctor at times. It's because there's certain points along the way, if we see certain things, we do it. I tell people all the time, I had a melanoma. I had a skin check, and it was a melanoma. We caught it early. It didn't advance in any stages. Why do you have skin checks? My dad had those, so I want to get checked. Does it mean that I had any symptoms? Had none. And yet it was one of those things that could have literally taken me out if I hadn't have caught it when I caught it. So we don't want that. It's the same concept in chiropractic. We want you to be able to use this well. So schedule those checkups, and remember, you don't always have to hurt to get those checkups. So we'll see you on the next video, or we'll see you in the office.